defend it. I think they've been ignorant of a lot of unintended consequences that come along with a lot of policies in play right now.
Right. He's crawled through sewers, scaled skyscrapers, and stood shoulder to shoulder with the men and women who keep America running. But there's one thing Mike Rowe has always kept buried: the truth about his private life. For years, fans have watched him on dirty jobs, laughing, sweating, and working harder than anyone on television. Yet behind that humor and grit was a mystery no one could solve. Who was the man when the cameras stopped rolling? Was he really alone all this time? Or was there someone quietly waiting for him in the shadows? Now, at 59, Mike Rowe's longtime girlfriend has finally broken her silence. And what she's revealed doesn't just rewrite his story, it redefines it. Her words uncover a truth deeper than fame, richer than success, and more powerful than the show that made him a legend. Stay tuned, because this revelation will leave you speechless. Before the fame, before dirty jobs, before millions knew his name, Mike Rowe was just a young man from Baltimore, chasing dreams with a deep voice and a relentless work ethic. Back then, he wasn't a celebrity or a millionaire. He was just another struggling narrator and part-time host, trying to make rent while hoping for something more. That's when he met her, long before the spotlight ever found him. She remembers those early days fondly. He wasn't rich or famous, she said softly, but he had that spark, like he was destined for something bigger. Their connection wasn't built on money or glamour. It was built on humor, honesty, and simplicity. Mike wasn't the kind of man who needed grand gestures. He preferred small diners over fancy restaurants, quiet talks over loud parties, and heartfelt laughter over showy displays. He had a way of making you feel like you were the only person in the room. Even when he was exhausted, he listened, really listened, as if every word you said mattered. Then, everything changed. When Dirty Jobs premiered, the world discovered what she already knew: that Mike Rowe was one of a kind. Overnight, he became the face of hard work in America. From sewer tunnels to oil rigs, he did it all. The show's raw honesty resonated with millions, but fame came with a cost. The long travel days, the unpredictable schedules, and the constant exposure began to strain their relationship. He'd call me from an oil rig or a sewage plant at 3 in the morning, she recalled. Sometimes he'd fall asleep mid-sentence, but he always called. What kept them together wasn't glamour, it was purpose. He believed in what he was doing, she explained. He saw dignity in people the world ignored, and that passion was contagious. While fame surrounded him, she stayed quietly behind the scenes, cheering him on without ever asking to share the spotlight. Despite his growing recognition, Mike Rowe refused to use his relationship for publicity. "If I open that door," he once told her, "they'll never let us close it again." And she understood. She accepted the quiet, the distance, and even the loneliness. Because what they had was something sacred in an industry that thrives on exposure. Years passed, and fans began to wonder, was Mike Rowe a lifelong bachelor? Had he chosen solitude over love? The truth, now revealed, shows that behind the man who celebrated the working class stood a woman who quietly celebrated him. "He didn't hide me because he was ashamed," she said. "He just wanted something of his own in a world where everything he did was public." Her voice trembled when she spoke, the weight of years spent loving in silence. While the world speculated, they built a life based on something stronger than fame. During his long shoots, they wrote letters, not emails or texts, but real handwritten letters. She still keeps them tucked away in a small box at home. "He said it made things feel real," she smiled, "like something worth holding on to." As Dirty Jobs grew into a global phenomenon, the demands only intensified. Producers wanted more episodes, networks wanted more exposure, and fans wanted more of Mike Rowe. But behind every episode was a man who gave more of himself than anyone realized. He'd come home sore, bruised, sometimes sick, she remembered. But he never complained. He'd say, "There's a guy out there laying asphalt in 110-degree heat. I can't justify sleeping in." That humility was real, and it came at a price. He carried the weight of every story he told. He'd wake up at night and talk about the people he met, she said. The miners, the welders, the farmers. He remembered their names, their families, their struggles. He couldn't turn it off. At one point, their relationship nearly broke. He was giving everything to the world and nothing to himself, she admitted. I told him, "You can't pour from an empty cup." But Mike saw his work as more than a career. It was a calling. He believed that if he stopped, the message would fade, and people would forget the workers who kept the country alive. He missed birthdays, anniversaries, holidays. Yet, through it all, his heart remained steady. "You can't love Mike Rowe halfway," she laughed. "You either understand the mission, or you don't." Over time, she became not just his partner, but his anchor. The one person who reminded him that even heroes need rest. He'd come home covered in grease and dirt, and she'd simply say, "You don't have to prove anything today. You're home." And that always made him smile. To the world, Mike Rowe was a confident host and national icon. To her, he was simply human, humble, funny, and endlessly compassionate. He never used the word fans, she revealed. He called them friends I haven't met yet. That's how genuine he is. Even at the height of his fame, he turned down celebrity events and red carpet invitations just to attend a friend's retirement party or volunteer at a local trade school. He'd rather shake hands with a welder than take a photo with an actor, she laughed. What people never saw was how protective he was of her privacy. "I'm the one who signed up for this life," he once told her, "not you." And he meant it. For nearly 20 years, she stayed anonymous, supporting him from the background, proud but unseen. Now, with her words finally public, the truth is undeniable. Mike Rowe isn't just the face of hard work. He's the embodiment of humility, gratitude, and love that endures when the lights go out. As time passed, Mike began to slow down, not because he was tired of working, but because he realized what truly mattered. One day, he told her, "I think I've spent more time with strangers than with myself." That realization changed him. He started taking longer breaks between projects, finding peace in quiet routines, playing music, writing, and simply breathing again. He'd sit on the porch with his guitar for hours, strumming old country songs, she said. "That's when I saw the happiest version of him." Producers kept calling, asking him to return to full-time television, but he'd smile and say, "Not yet. I'm where I need to be." During those years, their relationship grew stronger than ever. Without the constant chaos of filming, they rediscovered each other, cooking dinner together, going for drives, laughing at how absurd fame could be. "He used to joke that the only thing dirtier than a job is show business," she laughed. But he meant it. Through it all, Mike Rowe remained thankful. "He doesn't regret a thing," she said. "He just finally learned to breathe." Today, at 59, Mike Rowe stands as proof that authenticity still matters. He's not chasing fame or fortune. He's living a legacy built on honesty and respect. He doesn't need a mansion or a spotlight to feel fulfilled, she said. He just needs good people, good stories, and a reason to wake up every morning. Now that her voice has finally been heard, fans understand what made Mike Rowe so special all along. His greatness was never about television. It was about truth. The truth that real success isn't about how high you rise. It's about how grounded you stay when the world is watching. In the end, Mike Rowe's story isn't one of fame or fortune, but of faithfulness to his work, to his purpose, and to the woman who stood quietly behind him all these years. The woman who knew him long before the cameras ever did. As she said with a soft smile, "He's always said some jobs are dirty, but protecting love in a world like his, that's the hardest job of all." And maybe that's the real legacy of Mike Rowe. That greatness isn't measured by applause or awards, but by integrity, humility, and love that doesn't need to be seen to be real. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories behind the people who remind us what real character looks like. Because legends like Mike Rowe don't fade, they simply live quietly, with purpose and truth. Thanks for watching.